Welcome to County Magazine, a chance to find out what's new across Fairfax County. I'm Brian Ashby. On this edition, we'll take a deep dive into the Artist-in-Residency program from ArtsFairfax. We'll find out more about doing business with the county through the Department of Procurement and Material Management, and we'll learn about the county's emergency operations plan from one of its authors. Plus, a very special unveiling from the Fairfax County Public Library. ArtsFairfax, the county's premier arts organization, recently announced its latest Artist-in-Residency program. The program places professional artists from a variety of disciplines at community hubs across the county, engaging residents with the transforming power of making and performing art. Take a look.
If I had to describe this program in one word, it would be collaborative. Because each of these residencies has the artists working alongside participants and building a rapport. So it's not just a single workshop that people are attending, it's getting to know these artists and these artists getting to know their communities that they're serving. The ArtsFairfax Artist Residency Program places professional artists at sites throughout the county. And we have partnered with a community center, Fairfax County Public Schools, a library, a park, and an affordable housing community. We know that the county is rich in culture. Every neighborhood has its own fantastic culture, and this is an opportunity for some of those neighborhoods that don't have access to regular programming to work alongside professional artists and explore their own creativity. Over the years, we had to pivot the program, especially with COVID. We ended up doing virtual programming just for middle schools and senior centers. But now, thanks to a grant from the National Endowment for the Arts, we are able to be in person and expand our offerings to 5 different residencies that span 5 different artistic disciplines. The residencies are a dance residency, a ceramic residency, a digital art residency, poetry residency, and a theater stage combat residency. One that I'm really excited about is the ceramic workshop. So the participants are actually working in pairs. They're working on a ceramic tile, and they're actually telling someone else's story. They're telling their partner's story. So it's all about communication and empathy.
The goal is that you internalize somebody else's story and you take it even further by creating an art tile that you've drawn, like, maybe you've illustrated just a scene from that story and then you carve it into clay.
My partner's story was a family trip to the Everglades, and it was a vacation that spent on a houseboat. So when I tell the story, I wanted to portray the Everglades and what things make you think of Everglades. That's the mangrove, which I tried to portray over here, and I did try to make it so it's kind of framed the tile.
When you hear other people's stories, it really helps you understand another individual. And because I'm an artist, that's the language that I speak. I speak art. And I'm a sculptor and I do tiles, so it just seemed like a natural fit to tell a story in a tile.
The dance residency is actually multi-generational, so we're working with the teen center and the senior center.
So my job as the dance resident is to bring my art to this community center, which is the original Mount Vernon High School. And I'll be working with the teens and the seniors and trying to bridge the gap between those 2 generations, boomers and Gen Z, and show them what they have in common through music and movement.
We had a kickoff event for the dance residency, and it was just a giant dance party. We had our artist who was going to be working with the participants. We had a fantastic social dance group called Soul Service DMV, and they are a really community-oriented organization. They're just a group of dancers that bring joy everywhere they go. So it was wonderful to see all of the people that we have worked with so far, especially the seniors and the kids from the teen center, come together and just have a great time dancing together. I'm really excited about this program because the artists have spent so much time researching their craft, and they're just really excited to share it with the communities. And every single residency has multiple layers and themes to it. For example, the stage combat residency is actually about conflict resolution. So it's teaching kids how to fight safely and learn the reasoning behind character conflict. We know that a single artist or organization can be a transformative experience. And so we are hoping that residents throughout Fairfax County can come together and explore their creativity, get to know each other better, and create a more vibrant Fairfax County.
Over 3,000 companies of all sizes sell to Fairfax County, supplying the goods and services that keep our local government running. The Department of Procurement and Material Management wants to help you understand the procurement process to better help grow a thriving business relationship with Fairfax County. Here's more.
Welcome, everyone. Are you looking for new opportunities to sell to the county? Well, we're excited to take this time to present this information to help you determine your right fit in selling to the county. This video will help you understand our procurement process, and ultimately, understanding our process will help all businesses improve their strategy.
A good place to start is with what we call the procurement cycle. The procurement cycle begins when a county department has a requirement or need for goods and services. Departments control their budget and understand their business. The process continues by defining the specifications for a good or service, then collaborating with staff in the procurement department to determine the optimal procurement strategy. After this occurs, the business opportunity is solicited, responses are evaluated, and then an award is made. The procurement cycle concludes with implementation, delivery, and supplier performance. Understanding the procurement process is vital to your sales strategy.
One of the most important things to remember is how we're structured here at the county. The Central Department of Procurement and Material Management, or DPMM, is the ultimate authority for procurement here at the county. DPMM supports the other 40+ departments and agencies with their procurement requirements. However, prospective businesses need to understand the importance of getting out in front of the customer, who are the program managers, IT administrators, engineers, etc. These staff are the subject matter experts that define the specifications for these various opportunities. So now that you know the basic procurement structure and who determines the budget and requirements, it's important to know how the actual procurement process works.
In Fairfax County, we categorize open market procurements based on the estimated spend or dollar amount. There are 3 general categories of procurement: small, medium, and large purchases. Let's start by talking about small purchases. A small purchase is any expenditure under $10,000. These small purchases are fully delegated to the individual departments with no involvement from DPMM. These purchases are generally require a single quote, and departments reach out directly to trusted suppliers for estimates and pricing. Processing time for a small purchase usually takes from 1 to 5 days to complete. So if you know the county has a need for a particular goods or services and your pricing is competitive, reaching out directly to the department or agency can be a great strategy for small purchases. Medium purchases, or what we call in procurement, informal purchases, are expenditures between $10,000 and $200,000. Within the informal category, there are 2 methods for obtaining required competition. For purchases between $10,000 and $50,000, agencies are required to solicit a minimum of 3 quotes, with one of the quotes being from a small, women, and minority-owned or SWAM vendor. For purchases between $50,000 and $200,000, a minimum of 4 quotes are needed, with 2 being from SWAM suppliers. This is a great opportunity to be competitive in the medium-sized purchases if you identify as a SWAM supplier. Departments directly solicit for informal purchases by reaching out to suppliers or advertising on EVA, the state's e-procurement system. This type of purchase can take anywhere from 15 to 45 days to complete. Medium purchases can often be periodic requirements, so creating a relationship with the county is a benefit of this purchase category. Finally, we have our large purchases, or what we call a formal purchase. A formal purchase is conducted for expenditures above $200,000. This is where the Central Procurement Office, DPMM, will conduct a formal procurement process with either an invitation for bids or a formal request for proposal. Formal IFBs generally seek the lowest price based on specifications, whereas formal RFPs seek offers to obtain the best value through negotiation. These formal purchases are publicly advertised through EVA to registered vendors in the system. EVA allows vendors to register using commodity codes and be automatically informed when the matching solicitations are posted. We highly encourage prospective vendors to register for notification of opportunities, not only with Fairfax, but with other localities and agencies across Virginia. Large purchases can be complex and can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months to complete.
All in all, our procurement structure is very important when trying to sell to Fairfax County. Knowing which agency you'd like to work with and where your good or service fits within the thresholds are the most important things to consider when finding your right fit and selling to Fairfax.
The Fairfax County Board of Supervisors recently approved the 2023 Emergency Operations Plan, detailing the roles of each county agency during and after a disaster. We are lucky to have the Department of Emergency Management and Security to guide us through these worst-case scenarios when they arise.
The Fairfax County Emergency Operations Plan that was recently adopted by the Board of Supervisors encompasses county organizations, departments, and agencies, as well as some external stakeholders that we work with regularly. This is a government response to any sort of emergency or disaster, whether it be man-made, technological, or a natural disaster. And it helps coordinate our response so that we do it in a safe, efficient manner to help the residents and visitors of Fairfax County. The public, however, is huge in this process, and their job is to help understand that the Fairfax County Emergency Operations Plan exists, educate themselves, and do their part to best serve the other people of Fairfax County by preparing for disasters. Because in the event of a disaster, there's a chance that first responders may not be able to get to you within 72 hours. So Fairfax County tries to include every single agency that would have some sort of response role in the event of a disaster. But even better, it just shows that there is a huge level of cooperation and coordination that goes on behind the scenes with all of our government agencies and our external stakeholders that will help us respond to any sort of widespread disaster that impacts all the people of Fairfax County, all the businesses of Fairfax County. And ultimately, we're hoping that this plan will help alleviate some of the stresses that will happen in the immediate aftermath of a disaster.
The Fairfax County Public Library recently announced a new architectural plan for the Patrick Henry Library at a design unveiling and author talk event. Due to its central location, open design, and increased parking capacity, the new library is sure to enhance the Vienna community experience. Check it out.
So tonight's program is part of the Town of Vienna's Liberty Amendments Month, which runs mid-June through mid-July and celebrates those 4 amendments that are focused on the liberties that we all enjoy as Americans now. This week is actually identified as Library Week in the Town of Vienna, and we're incredibly grateful for our partnership with the town and their support of our beautiful county library system. We're thrilled to be doing a 2-part program, which is an unveiling of our new plans for the redesigned Patrick Henry Library, as well as an author talk from 2 of our very own library authors talking about their book, The Desegregation of Northern Virginia Libraries.
So we wrote this book to spotlight the little known and overlooked activists that fought to desegregate public libraries in Northern Virginia, which we learned was a topic that had never really fully been investigated before. And the goal of this book was to make people more aware of this topic that isn't really fully discussed, and to have a context of why libraries are the way that they are.
So it was a book that we just felt like we had to write it, because we were like, this story needs to get out there. And it was a labor of love for us to put all of this information together and get it out into a wider audience so people could learn about some of the great Virginian activists who helped open up the libraries to everybody.
The big part of tonight is also the unveiling of those plans. The Patrick Henry Library was funded for a renovation and replacement in 2020, and this new plan is a collaboration between the town and the county. The county is going to get a brand new library, increased square footage, more open light, much better parking. And the town is also paying into the project to support additional parking spaces for town users who might want to shop, recreate, or just walk around on the Maple Avenue corridor. The duology between our history of our segregated library system in Northern Virginia and this beautiful new open light, airy Patrick Henry Library is really the story of how libraries have changed and moved as we've seen stronger equity needs and impacts across our nation. Our library system is open to everyone now, and we want to make sure and showcase the beautiful spaces we have now, but not try and hide the heritage of how we got here. It's all part of the same continuum. Libraries now are incredibly focused on ensuring that we have open, accessible, welcoming spaces for every member of our community. We love everyone. We want them to come visit us.
Well, that about does it for this edition of County Magazine. Thanks for joining me. Remember, there are countless ways to get involved in your community to make Fairfax County an even better place to live, work, and play. I'm Brian Ashby, and we'll see you next time on County Magazine.